Hello everyone, this is ponderonweather coming at you with another update. In this update, we're going to be talking about upcoming snowstorms over the next week. So before I do get started, if you do like weather-related content, please subscribe to my channel as I will upload daily updates to keep you ahead of the storm. And I do ask you to share this video with your friends and family on social media, all right? So let's get started. First of all, let's take a look at the overall snowfall cover, and it is very impressive as of February the 18th. And look at this. I mean, 70.6% of the entire U.S. has snow on the ground with an average depth of 6.2 inches. That is really impressive. And considering where we came from this time last month, we were at 31.7%. So we've over doubled that just in the last 30 days. And I do think that's actually going to play a key role going forward and help, kind of keep the temperatures colder longer than what they normally would be, just because the added snowpack that is going to be on the ground. So let me kind of show you over the overall temperatures this morning. And it is pretty impressive for February the 19th on Friday. We've got 81% of the country that is below freezing right now. The only escape from the cold is Florida, where they're still hitting in the 70s. But this is a pretty widespread Arctic outbreak, and some of these places have been below freezing for almost 2 weeks now. For places almost in like Oklahoma and especially up north. So they're trying to get a reprieve, but man, there's just a lot of Arctic air in place, and all that snowfall cover on the ground is just keeping these temperatures colder for an extended period of time. I mean, you can see the snowfall reports just over the last 72 hours from the National Weather Service. And this is just counting the second system. This is not even counting the first system. So you can see some rather impressive snows just in the last 3 days, from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning as of 6 a.m. So you can see kind of some of the red dots of, 18 to, you got what? You got 18 to 24 inches in these red zones here, and going into, places in Utah. I mean, impressive amounts in Texas. I mean, Del Rio, Texas got 11.2 inches yesterday. That smashed the all-time record since records began since 1915. So they've been having some impressive snows in Texas. And even Little Rock, I mean, places in Little Rock just got crushed yesterday. And all up along the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic, I mean, you can see definitely some rather impressive snows. And they got as far south as, all the way down here into Mississippi and, southern, Alabama here. And it got close to Atlanta. It definitely got close, but it wasn't quite there. So we tried for you guys in Atlanta, but unfortunately you missed out on this one. So let me kind of take a look at the overall temperatures for tomorrow. So, I mean, it's freezing now and Friday, but even tomorrow, I mean, those colder temperatures will still hang tight for all the way down to the deep south. We talked about cold Arctic intrusions, diving in the central part of the U.S., diving south, and then pushing east, but definitely moderating. And that's what's happening right now, as these colder temperatures will push east. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the Arctic, like true, negative temperatures are subsiding, but still below freezing. Going to be extending all the way to the coast, into the Carolinas, into the Northeast for tomorrow morning. So let me kind of set the stage for our next upcoming snowstorm. And so by Sunday morning, going into Saturday night into Sunday morning, we do see a little clipper system kind of developing again into Nebraska, going into South Dakota, and this will set the stage going into Iowa for several more inches as this traverses across into Saturday. But yeah, by Sunday, you can try to see the temperatures trying to modify. I mean, the temperatures, we've been, so cold for so long, but by Sunday morning, the low temperatures will finally get above freezing in Texas, and you start the thawing out process as these colder temperatures still push to the east. But you can see that colder air never made it to Florida. And so as we kind of zoom into that snowstorm that we were talking about, we go into the afternoon on Sunday, the 21st. Now we're starting to amplify that snow a little bit. We're probably looking at some 3 to 5 inch amounts in places like Des Moines as this continues moving across into Wisconsin and to central and southern Minnesota by then, and this will continue to move across into the Great Lakes. You might have some, say, lake effect snow induced from Lake Michigan from this system. So if you're along the lakes, expect a little bit higher totals from just kind of a lake effect snow from this system, but this will continue pushing off into Michigan, and places like Detroit will pick up several more inches from this system, and even to Chicago, maybe 1 to 3 inches along this corridor in northern Indiana, and this will kind of subside a little bit as you go into Ohio, but then this will traverse across and be pushed down from a little bit of a cold front, kind of a clipper system that comes through. So this will set the stage for even in the Northeast. By Monday morning, the 22nd, you'll start to see some more snow for you guys into the Northeast. So places into, Pittsburgh, get it into, southern and eastern Pennsylvania by then, getting into New York. And this will traverse across into Jersey. And again, some of your bigger cities along the coast like Philly, New York City, Boston, areas will pick up more additional snow showers. I'm not expecting a kind of a huge event from this system, but a good 1 to 3 and then sporadic 3 to 5 inches coming up by Monday from this little clipper system that came across. And you had some pretty healthy totals yesterday. There were some 10-inch amounts right around Philly. So that was some impressive snow as this swung across. But by Tuesday, you can definitely see that first system, that upcoming snow system, will swing off the coast of the Northeast. This in the Pacific Northwest, this continues to remain active with snow and into the upper regions and the mountain regions of Montana and Idaho. This continues traversing across. Temperatures definitely do try to moderate. I mean, we've been so cold up here for so long, and then, but seems like it's going to be a little bit short-lived. I mean, we do have some well above average anomalies starting to creep in by Tuesday, the 23rd. And then even down to the south where they've had that snowpack on the ground for so long, a lot of this will melt by then. But still, I mean, we're still even, looking at temperatures 5 to 10 degrees below normal, because you've been the extreme anomalies, with average highs in the 60s. And you're getting, average, you're getting high temperatures in the 20s. I mean, 35, 40 below normal. It's going to take a while to moderate that air as it just kind of locks into that area. And yeah, you can see it's trying to push above average anomalies into California and to Washington and Oregon and Nevada by then. But that seems to be short-lived, because we do have a developing trough, and this is the system that could be possibly coming after the upcoming snowstorm that we talked about for the Great Lakes. So here's the 500 millibar pattern on the cyclonic vorticity index from the European. We see a developing trough. I mean, this is a cold core again, so that will bring more snow for places into Washington and Oregon. This looks to dive down and bring some of that colder air with it as the PNA goes negative into the western parts of the U.S. And you can see by Thursday afternoon, by Tuesday, they had those above average anomalies, but that quickly subsides. And you have that cold core coming in off that vorticity index, and that will bring below average temperatures for much of the Northwest, going into Utah, going into the Four Corners regions, and that could set the stage for possibly another snowfall setup going a little bit further south. And so let me show you the vorticity index. By the time Thursday afternoon rolls around, that upper level feature could be over the Four Corners region and start to dive down, taking advantage of some of that snowpack. So again, I mean, with the snowpack on the ground, I do think some of these systems will be able to traverse a little bit further south. I mean, the colder air will, not be modified as much as it normally would if you didn't have this snow-induced snowpack on the ground for as long as we have. So that will set the stage for possibly more snow in the Four Corners region going into New Mexico, and this will be quickly moving across and could be into Thursday night. By Friday morning, the 26th, actually developing some more snow possibly into the Texas Panhandle, and that would get in portions of Oklahoma again. That's what it looks like right now. And as this continues moving across, this may bring additional snows for Missouri, going into places like Tennessee, going into Kentucky again, as this kind of traverses across from west to east. So that's what I'm kind of looking at, beyond the upcoming snowstorm that we were talking about in the Great Lakes. Beyond that, of this other feature that's coming in from the west, diving down into the Panhandle and traversing across from west to east. So I'll be kind of fine tuning that as we go forward. But yeah, even by Friday, I mean, we're talking a week from now, we try to warm up for the deep south. We do. But that do feel like that's going to be short-lived with that cold front and that cold core coming across, by Thursday. So I do think we drop below normal again for these areas, and we could be looking at some more snow possibly for the Texas Panhandle, going into portions of Oklahoma, and even getting into Missouri again by this time next late Thursday night into next Friday. So that is something I'm looking out for beyond this upcoming snowstorm. So I wanted to kind of give you a heads up on that. So I appreciate you guys watching. Do like this video. Definitely leave your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to catch the latest update where I protect you before and after the storm.